Welcome back to the Family Focus. As always, my name is Derek. I'm here with Jason. We have a special report card episode of the Family Focus. It is the third day of September as we are recording, and because of that, that means it's report cards, and we're going to go through the entire Red Sox roster. Well, at least the ones that kind of hit our minimum requirements of either 10 innings pitched with an additional guy in there, or 40 at bats in the month of August, and we will be grading them basically on their performance. Our grading scales are our own grading scales. We each kind of have our own scale to go by. We may not have the same grades. It could be based on expectation, just in general, however we feel. So let's just get this show right on the road. I know Jason's very eager. We'll start with, I think we feel like we start with the hitters all the time, so let's start with the pitchers. Let's do something new. Let's start with the pitchers. We're going to go from the least amount of innings up to the most amount of innings. So with that, we're going to start with a guy who doesn't reach our minimum of 10 innings pitched, but he's an exception because he was a trade acquisition. So Lucas Sims, 10 appearances, 9 1/3 innings, gave up 9 runs, all of them earned. He also walked 6, which is 7 strikeouts in August. I think this one's pretty clear, Jason.
F.
Yeah.
Enough said. He's not been good. He was okay against Texas and Kansas City, but then that was only an inning and a third and a third of an inning. Houston really screwed him up, and then ever since then, he hasn't recovered. So it was just really bad.
Yeah,
not a great trade deadline acquisition. I mean, look, on paper they tried. I think we'll send another episode probably at the end of the year about the trade deadline. But was he a solid guy before coming here? Yes. Considering the injuries, they needed him pitching the 8th inning and the 7th inning. They still kind of do if he was healthy. It hasn't really worked out.
No, it really hasn't. It's an F. I think that's kind of obvious. We'll move on. Next up, Chris Martin, 11 appearances, 10 innings, just 4 runs, but only one of them earned, 12 strikeouts, no walks, 0.90 ERA. Although 1.1 whip, which feels a little high for him, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm so used to seeing him kind of it feels like he has, it just feels a little bit high for him, but it's not that high. It's slightly above. Slightly above what he's done this year, what his whip this year. A little bit high. His whip last year was a little bit lower, and the year before was actually under 1. But Jason, Chris Martin, I'm personally going to give him a B, just because he did miss some of the month. He missed the first week of the month. And I'm not saying by B, I mean I'm giving him, if I wasn't doing a flat scale, this would be a B plus, close to an A. But I think missing that first week of the month really hurt the Red Sox. So with that, I'm giving him a B.
I'll give him an A, but that's the only relief pitcher I'm giving an A. I think enough said, because of the obvious. Red Sox bullpen has been awful, but this is the only guy you could turn to and say who's a guy who we can consistently go to, who's not a closer, to lock down an inning. Lock down the 8th inning, you get Chris Martin. It's not last year's form per se, but he'll get you out of jams. He'll pitch out of certain situations. He'll strike a lot of guys out. He'll give you strikes. He'll throw strikes. So what's not to like with Chris Martin here? I mean, you said it, 0.90 ERA. He even had 2 saves. So I think an A.
Yeah. Next up is Kenley Jansen, 2.70 ERA over 10 appearances, 10 innings pitched, just 3 runs. He did allow 2 home runs, though. He had 12 strikeouts. He also didn't walk anyone. Jason, what is your grade for Kenley Jansen?
B. Sorry. There's some. I would have liked him to have held the game against the Houston Astros, maybe send that game. But, I mean, he wasn't bad, but I think when you look at this bullpen, he wasn't a lockdown. He had a rough outing against Detroit, really rough outing. That was the 30th, so I think it was the second to last game of the month. He did not do well, but he did give up the Blue Jays. He gave up a run. Was that a blown save? I don't know if it was.
What, against Toronto?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a blown save.
Okay. Yeah, but I still give a B.
His blown
Wasn't.
save came against Detroit.
Yeah, it just he was good, just not not as good as months previous. If he does the same, I like to say, if he does the same thing next month, I'll give him an A. This he's got it. If he does the same thing, I'll consider giving him an A. But B, just because he wasn't perfect. I know you can't be perfect, but at the same time, you're in a playoff race. You would love to see him lock down guys more. I don't love I don't love what he did in Detroit. I know Detroit's a hot team, or against the Astros, but like Yainer Diaz, come on, you can't give up a home run like that.
Yeah,
Personally,
yeah,
personally, personally.
I'm in the same spot with you. It's a B for me as well.
But it's one of those like could have been an A, like
Yeah,
easily. But it's
solid, but
he just didn't feel like the same guy he was maybe in July or June.
yeah. Next up, I mean, we don't really even have to talk about it, but Luis Garcia, 10 games, 10 and two thirds innings, 19 hits off of him, 13 runs, 12 of them earned, four homers, 10 strikeouts. He only walked one guy. I mean, if you want to look at the bright side of something. But 10-13 ERA, I think this is like the most obvious F ever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
F.
I mean, like, what else do you want us to say? It's like a clear F.
Yep.
Next up is Zach Kelly. He had a
Ooh.
2.45 ERA in 11 games. One did start one of them as an opener. 11 innings, just 4 runs, only 3 of them earned. Although he did give up 2 homers, 11 strikeouts, just 3 walks. Jason, what do you have for Zach Kelly?
This is a tough one. 3.86 ERA. Who he pitched in a lot of high leverage situations. He was hit or miss is a little extreme, but at the same time, his blow up starts or his blow up outings like against the Rangers where he gave up the home run in the 10th inning, not great. Then you go to, hits allowed 1-0-3, 1-0-3, 1-0-0-0-0. He was good in the second half of the month. In the beginning half, you would have liked to see him limit the damage in that Rangers game. It happens, but he did not have a great Rangers series. He's had 2 home runs. Walks, he only had 3 walks. So, but much more contact. This is like walk numbers from the beginning of the year where we saw like no walks, but we're seeing much more contact now. That's the biggest difference. So, you know what? As bad as I feel like he really wasn't terrible. And for that reason, I'll give him a I'm in between a B and a C. Let me hold off to your reasoning though.
I'm giving him a B because it's Zach Kelly, and he also, remember, Zach Kelly. At the end of the day, realistically, he's a middle reliever, right? And and I know I did not that this plays into the decision, but he did not have a good July at all. And bouncing back from that, yes, there are a couple of rough outings, but I mean, if you have middle reliever, gives you that month where that Zach Kelly just had, where 11 appearances, 11 innings, 2.45 ERA. You take it, right? I think you take it and you're cool with it. Would they have liked to use them less in high leverage spots? I think definitely, but that just kind of was the state of the team with the reliever injuries.
Yeah.
So but I have him at a B because at the end of the day, if a guy who's pitching in the 5th, 6th inning gives you a 2.45 ERA, you're going to be happy about that. It just so happened he wasn't pitching due to the circumstances out of his
Yep,
control.
I'll give a B. I'll give a B then. Okay. I was, because like I said, in between a B and a C. So, but B, I think that's fair.
Yeah. Next up is Brennan Bernardino. 14 appearances, one of those starts, 12 innings, 15 hits, 10 runs, all of them earned. Gave up 5 homers, 19 strikeouts to 5 walks, but he also hit 3 batters. 7.50 ERA this month. How we feel about Brennan Bernardino? For me, it's a D. It's not like horrendous, but it still is not that good. And I feel like he was better than Lucas Sims and Luis Garcia. He was definitely like a tier above them. even though he was still not that good. So he gets a D for me. I don't think I can give him an F considering what the Fs were and how bad the Fs were.
Yeah. So I give him a D, but it wasn't an overwhelmingly bad D. Just not. He was overworked.
That too.
He was thrown into so many games. He constantly would. He would always be in a stretch for some reason where it's like, oh, 4 or 5. He's not pitching in the next 2-3 days. So let's see. August 3rd, August 4th, August 6th, August 7th. Boom, 3. That's already 4 or 5, right? And then you go, yeah, 14, 14th, 16, 17, 18. That's another 4 or 5.
And 3 straight.
And then 3 straight. You have 24, 25, 27, 30. But then, yeah, he was overworked, but at the same time, not a great option against lefties. Won't lock them down, which is something that has contributed to this Red Sox blow up in past the All-Star break. Another hit or miss, he either gives up no hits or he gives up 3 or 4. I feel like there's no in between. But walks again, 5 walks, considering all his appearances. In 15 appearances, that's a walk every 3 appearances. Like I said, not walking that many guys.
But he's hit 3 guys, though, at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That. Yeah. So, I give him a D. But it's not a harsh D. It's one of those, yeah, sorry, you were okay, but at the same time, you weren't really helping the team, but you weren't really that good either, so D.
All right, next up is Josh Winkowski. 8 appearances, 1 of those starts, 13 in the 3rd inning, 16 hits, 13 runs, 12 of them earned. Gave up 4 homers, 8 strikeouts to 2 walks, 8.10 ERA. Jason, what do you have for Josh Winkowski?
Josh Winkowski has a sour taste in my mouth, unfortunately, because of the game he gave up a home run to that I was at against the Rangers. I'll give another D. Another D. It's not another guy who was kind of overworked. He pitched 3 innings on the 10th, and then he got an off day, and then he pitched again. Let's see. Yeah, not great. I don't like. I really don't like how he was a starter to kind of begin the year in AAA, but ever since 3 walks too. So we're seeing this trend. Red Sox pitchers haven't really given up a lot of walks. It's just the hits. At least that's what the stats say. It feels like a lot more walks, but
the issue is they've traded made a trade-off of giving up less walks, but now there's more contact made against them. They're getting less swing and miss. Almost.
Yes, fewer walks, more contact, less swing and miss. Yeah,
yeah. You've traded for fewer walks. You've given up some of the swing and miss stuff. Whereas if you have more swing and miss stuff, yeah, you're gonna walk more. But you would argue if you walk 2 guys, but you don't give up any hits and no one scores, that's fine. But if you don't walk anyone, but you give up a double and a single, a run scores, right? I'm not saying that in terms of you should just have guys who, more swing and miss, strikeouts, but walk guys. I'm not necessarily saying that, but it seems like they've almost maybe overcorrected for what the Red Sox have had at times. And a lot of these guys were brought in when time was, there, and whether it's Bernardino or whatnot, and Heim very much had a thing of wanting to limit walks, but it feels like you can limit walks, but sometimes you just need a guy who can go out and strike a couple guys out in an inning. Right.
Right.
Josh Winkowski's not that. Josh Winkowski's hitting enough for me. The guy has no swing and miss. Yeah, he doesn't walk people. I don't care. For a guy who's realistically, at this point in Josh Winkowski's career, he should be a steady long reliever, eat up some innings, or swing man, make the occasional start. That's what he should be. He should be a steady piece. He should
last year. He should
not be having the struggle of having to be sent down and then call back up and say he should not be doing that right now in his career. He should be at a point in his career. I know the whole bone spurt thing in his ankle or whatnot, or chip or whatever it was, but he also is the one who's decided to pitch through that this year, right? He
Yep.
very well could have gotten surgery, right? He didn't have to pitch through it. So
No.
I respect the effort, but like it's an F for me. It just is. It's a little bit. It's
Yeah.
probably a harsh F, considering that.
Now,
Maybe
I
not.
just feel like an F's too harsh, but at the same time, this bullpen's been really bad. Well, did I give it a D? I think I did.
You give it a D, I think. Next up, Cooper Criswell, 5 appearances, 2 starts, 14 innings, 23 hits against, 10 runs, all of them earned, 6 strikeouts, 9 walks, 2 hit batters, 6.43 ERA. Jason, what do you have for? I don't know if we can call him King Cooper anymore. What do you have?
No, I can't. I have another D.
Another
Just
D.
They moved him to the bullpen, and then he got COVID, and then he came back. Wasn't great. I mean, he was okay against Detroit too, but that was the September, so technically that doesn't count.
Doesn't count. Yeah, no, that don't count. It's
So-
a D, basically.
I think it's a D, just not great.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a D as well. Nick Pivetta, 4 starts, 22 innings, 17 hits, 12 runs. Gave up 6 homers, 19 strikeouts, 6 walks, 1 hit batter, 5.23 ERA. For Nick Pivetta, it's been very much all over the place, which is like typical Nick Pivetta. So there's that. But at the same time, it feels like it's been a little bit more on like the downside. His best start in the month of August was August 31st, and it was 6 innings, but he still gave up 2 runs, right? So like it's a quality start, but it's not great. I got a D for Pivetta.
Another D. Another D.
Make it easy. Next, Brian Bayo, 30 innings, 20 hits, 10 runs, all of them earned. Did give up 2 homers, 28 strikeouts, 14 walks, just 1 hit batter, 3 ERA for Brian Bayo this month. I'm giving Brian Bayo a B.
I do too. He's been the hot hand. Not perfect by any means. Did not have a great start against Arizona. Strikeout numbers are starting to come up, even though he's kind of a ground ball guy. But I liked what I saw against Texas. I liked what I saw against Baltimore. And I really liked what I saw against Toronto when you went 8 innings. So more of the hot hand, that's going to give him a B. Because whenever he was pitching this month, you're like, oh, good. I felt good.
Yeah.
The 2-2 record, 2-1. Sorry, because I have the September start here. Whoa, the Kansas City start. Okay, that was tough. That was tough, but walk wise, let's see. Walks were a little high. That's kind of what's preventing him from getting an A. 15 walks in 5 appearances, so average of 3 walks a start. Right?
14 walks.
14 walks. Almost 3 walks to start.
But at the same time, he pitched 30 innings, so...
He pitched 30 innings.
It's about, a walk every 2 innings.
Not great. But he was still really good. B.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I got a B for him as well. On the last 2 pitchers, Cutter Crawford, 6 starts, 31 and a third innings, 25 hits, 22 runs, all of them earned, gave up 6 homers, 22 strikeouts, 11 walks, 2 hit batters. For me, with Cutter Crawford, maybe this is also like just recency bias of the entire second half. He's getting an F. I'm sorry. The difference between him and Cooper Criswell is that the expectation for Cooper Criswell is not as high as it is for Cutter Crawford. And with that being the case, I'm giving Cutter Crawford an F.
It's been kind of a tale of two like months almost. He's gotten a decision in every one of his starts, and
that's not necessarily a good thing, though.
I know. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I have a D. I think he was giving you innings. Cool. The home runs calmed down quite a bit after his blow up Texas start. He's since his start on August 7th, he's only given up 2 home runs, which is kind of weird if you think about it. But at the same time, walks 11, meh. That's not good, not bad. It's meh. Hits 25 and 6, so we were averaging like about 5. Runs are all earned, which is weird. That's actually kind of crazy. All of his runs he gave up were earned, considering Red Sox defense. But everything aside, just D. He kind of recovered towards the end. He wasn't terrible. I think F, if you're an F, you're terrible. I don't think he was terrible at the end. At the beginning, he was, but at the end, he really wasn't. So D, I guess.
All right, next up, Tanner Houck, 4.29 ERA over 6 starts, 35 and 2/3 innings, 36 hits, giving up 18 runs, 17 of those 18 earned, gave up 4 homers, 27 strikeouts, 13 walks, but 7 hit batters for Houck. Jason, where are we going here?
This might shock you. I have a C. Yeah.
I thought when you said it was going to shock you, I thought you were going to be like F somehow.
No, C.
Well, C is not that shocking.
I feel like I wanted to say B, but I say C just because of his Arizona and Texas starts alone. Like, come on, dude. I feel like Texas was one thing. It's like, okay, they have a lot of good hitters. Arizona, they're the hot team, so shut them down. You're the ace of the rotation now of the season. You're the number one. I know you don't like the term ace, but you're the number one. So you go out there, and you give up 6 earned runs. I don't like to see that. Yeah, 7. Wow. 7 hit batsmen. That's actually kind of crazy.
Yep.
4 home runs.
He hit a batter in every start except for his first start of the month, which was at Texas.
But on a positive note, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 quality starts. To his credit, 4 quality starts. That's really good. Just kind of a step down from what we've seen all season. And the Texas and Arizona starts were bad. C.
And because that, I think really, I want to, since like probably like late his last start in June onwards, it's been rougher for Houck. But I lean C, but I'm a little bit closer to a D than I am a B on the C scale.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to be the number one of the rotation, you can't really have a month where you go out and 6 starts, 35 and 2/3 innings, but a 4.29 ERA, a 1.37
Yeah.
WHIP. Like, and I last month it was, I know in July it was a 3.38 ERA, but a 1.55 WHIP. And then in June, 45 ERA with a 1.18 WHIP.
Yeah. 1 really start's one thing, but 2 starts where you're really bad.
Yeah, it's kind of rough. But the other 4 starts, if he only made 5 starts, didn't have that last start of the month, maybe it'd be a D. But I think that last start rebounded, like, kind of was good enough. It was just good enough to probably get him into the C range for me, but it's definitely closer to a D. But I got to see for Houck. That'll wrap it up for the pitchers, though. On to the hitters. We're going for hitters with at least 40 plate appearances. And that means we're going to start with Danny Jansen. He went 6 for 41 in the month. He did hit 2 homers, 9 strikeouts, 5 walks, but overall 146, 239, 293. Slash line 532 OPS. For me, though, it's a D, but it's not like a terrible D. It's probably just like a D of like, probably needs to hit a little bit better. There were a couple of defensive like miscues, right? But he also made history, so like,
okay.
But I'm giving him a D.
I'm giving him an F. What has he done? Made history? Outside of that, what has he done?
I trust him much more than Reese McGuire, so.
But he was your only right-handed bat, so I feel like you should have done some value. He can block pitches, that's true. But realistically,
that Connor Wong game where he's against Arizona that I was at, and he had like 3 pass balls.
Yeah.
I know none of them were actually called pass balls. I don't care.
I give him an F, just not. He's an upgrade from Reese McGuire, but that doesn't really say much anymore. He's not as good as I thought he was going to be, so F.
Next up, Tyler O'Neill. 44 at-bats, 12 games, 7 for 44, 3 homers, 22 strikeouts. So he struck out in half of his at-bats. Well, not half of his plate appearances, but like, you get what I mean. 5 walks. Did steal a base, but 159, 260, 364 slash line, 624 OPS. I mean, this one for me is an F. I don't know if you agree with that, but.
Yeah.
Also missed time.
I have another F. He just doesn't do anything. Like 159 as a number 4 hitter is not gonna, or number 3 hitter, not gonna cut it.
Next up, Romy Gonzalez, 21 games, 10 for 44, double, 2 homers, 10 RBIs, 16 strikeouts, just 2 walks, 227, 253, 86 slash line, 636 OPS. Jason, what do you have?
I mean, considering who he is, not terrible for a super utility guy. Kind of another begs the question: what has he done? What has he done? He came in. Cool. When he started, he didn't record a single multi-hit game, but at the same time, it's Romy Gonzalez. With that being said, I'm another F.
I have a D, I think.
But at the same time, he can play everywhere. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence between F and D. Because I gave O'Neill an F, but they're two different players. You know what? D. Fuck it.
The only reason I have a D is because my expectations just aren't as high for him. That's all it is.
True. Okay.
So with that, I get it. Next up, Nick Sogard, 14 games, 11 for 50, double, 6 RBIs, 21 strikeouts, 5 walks, 3 stolen bases, 220, 286, 240 slash line, 526 OPS. For Nick Sogard, I got a C. I mean, I feel like he kind of just did what they needed him to do. When play a little bit, switch hitter, could play all over the place, so they really only played second base. But just some added versatility when they needed it. They needed a guy they could plug and play, and gave him a couple good at bats when they needed it and whatnot. So I think for that, I feel like I give Nick Sogard a C. I mean, you're not expecting a ton from Nick Sogard, but like just play a little bit. Don't be terrible, right? Solid defense, which I feel like he did. So it's a C for me for Nick Sogard.
Yeah, I'm with you. Another expectation low. Did his job. Did it well. I think has a lot more pop than I thought. I knew he had some pop, but it translated kind of well in the major leagues. I think he made the most of his opportunity. When he's back with the big league club right now, I'll give him a C.
All right, next up, 15 games for Tristan Casas. 15 for 56, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, 21 strikeouts, 5 walks, 268, 339, 411. Slash line 750 OPS. Jason, what's your grade for Tristan Casas?
It's a tough grade because he only played half the month.
And he's also still kind of injured.
He is injured still. It visually looks terrible when he swings.
Yeah.
C, I guess.
I feel like I have a B just for the fact that solid first base defense. We know he's injured. It's like a very light B, but like I feel like considering that, I mean, I feel like every at bat he's hit a foul ball in, you can just like write that off as like doesn't matter because he hits a foul ball, it's game over. That at bat's done, right? So for me, it's a B. Right? I think we saw there was like he had one game where he had 3 strikeouts, and then all 3 at bats he hit a foul ball, and after that he didn't swing the bat, right? So for me, it's a B.
He's not protecting at all either. It's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
But he's healed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird. It's so weird. His situation's so weird.
Yeah. Next up, Robert F. Snyder, 21 games, 14 for 61, double, 4 homers, 8 RBIs, 17 strikeouts, just 4 walks, 1 strikeout. Not 1 strikeout, 1 stolen base. Jeez. 230, 277, 443, 720 OPS. I get a D for Robert F. Snyder. Just wasn't a good month for him.
I do too, and it was inflated by his the Ranger game where he had like 4 hits or something like that and 2 homers. Yeah. It's inflated by that. You take that out. He only has a handful. Well, that's many. He's man, way more games than I thought.
They played 21 games. Yeah.
How many of them were off the bench? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like
a decent chunk of them.
But still
off
the bench. Yeah, D. Kind of underwhelmed with him and what he can do. Yeah, you take away his 3 RBI, 4 hit game. He only had 5 RBIs this month. Not great. D.
All right, next up, David Hamilton, 20 games, 16 for 62, 4 doubles, 3 homers, 10 RBIs, 14 strikeouts, 6 walks, 7 stolen bases, 258, 324, 468, 792 OPS. Jason, what's your grade for David Hamilton?
He was starting to pick it up before he got hurt. I liked what I saw, but at the same time, it's a tough C, but it's a tough C. I think B's a little bit generous. That's why he got hurt on the bunt. Stuff happens, but probably out for the season. But he's had a solid season. I think when we do our overall report cards, he will not get a C from me. But this month, a little underwhelming. He started the month a little hot, and then got cool, and then got a little hot again. So, yeah, and he was walking. No, he was not walking.
No, he was not, definitely not.
Uh, stolen base threat always. Only 7 stolen bases, but he was still a threat. So
I mean, 7 stolen bases
B.
in 20 games.
Sorry, C. I give him a C.
I got a B for him. I feel like, I mean, it's better numbers than his overall season has been, and like, it's David Hamilton too. I'm not asking him to do anything like insane. So with the value he gave you over the course of the month, I think it's a B. If like Jaron Duran put up the stat line, it's not a B, but because it's David Hamilton,
Yes.
I think it's a B. It's a B for me. Next up, Wilyer Abreu, 25 games, 11 for 78, 6 doubles, 5 homers, 18 RBIs, 26 strikeouts, 8 walks, 282, 345, 551 the slash line, 896 OPS. For Wilyer for this month, it's interesting. I feel like this is a very interesting one because
for sure.
it's a little bit better than what his numbers have been over the course of the year. But he also, I feel like there was times this month where there'd be like a few games where like he'd have a hit here in this game or that game, and then he'd kind of have a couple games where he didn't have a hit, and then he'd go on a run of having a hit in like 4 or 5 consecutive. Then he wouldn't have a hit, and wouldn't have a hit in a game. Then he'd have a hit in the next game, then didn't in the third game, and then a couple more games with hits. It was kind of weird, but I feel like it's a B. I feel like giving it an A is a little bit much. I think it's probably a little bit, probably not an A, so I'll give him a B, but it's a strong B, I think, for William.
No, I think you're right. I never considered an A. It was between a B and a C. I think B is right. He hasn't had a home run since August 15th, which is kind of notable because I feel like his power is a big part of his game. So, yeah, B. I think I echo everything you say. It was a weird ranking, for sure.
Yeah. Next up, Connor Wong, 23 games, 22 for 87, 6 doubles, 2 homers, 10 RBIs, 26 strikeouts, just 2 walks. Did have a stolen base, also was caught stealing. 253, 270, 391 slug, 661 OPS. I'm going to go first. I just want to get out. It's a D month for Connor Wong. And the numbers like this, like the fact he only walked 2 times in the entire month. Like, come on, man. Come on. Like, you can't just walk. If Rafaela walks twice in a month, I get it. It's Rafaela. You're not expecting him to walk, but like, and I know Wong doesn't walk a ton, but still, to only walk 2 times in a month where the team's expressing this interest in moving you all over the field to keep your bat in the lineup, but your bat hasn't been that good. It's a D for me. It's a D.
Yeah, I'm D. I feel like his defense stood out to me more than his hit. I think hitting wise, kind of weird, but defensively, I just feel like he was so bad. I don't know why. I just feel like he was really bad.
He kind of was.
Yes. Yeah, D.
Yeah. All right, closing in, get our last 4 hitters. Masataka Yoshida's next. 27 games, 31 for 95, 6 doubles, 4 homers, 15 RBIs, just 11 strikeouts with 7 walks. He also stole a base. 326, 381, 516, 897 for Yoshida. Jason, what's your grade for Masataka Yoshida?
You know what? I'll give him an A. Why not? Let's get some positivity. I love Masa.
Yeah, I'm on board with you in that sense.
Yes.
I am wearing a Masa jersey right now, so a shirtless jersey, but his last couple of games of the month he didn't have any hits, but it felt like pretty much every game he had a hit for the most part.
He was hot this month.
From August 10th through August 28th, he only played in 2 games that he didn't have a hit in, and those 2 games were August 20th and August 23rd. So, very solid month for him. It's an A for me, for Yoshida. Next up, Cedon Rafaela, 27 games, 25 hits, and 96 at-bats, 4 doubles, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, 21 strikeouts, just 3 walks, 2 stolen bases, but was also caught stealing twice, 260, 290, 365, 665 OPS. I'll take this. I feel like it's part of me wants to be like, part of me is like, should I like give him a B because I feel like the defense has been better as of late, especially at shortstop, and I
Hmm.
think too like a lot of people fail to recognize that like he has not been playing shortstop every day, like before this year, anytime recently. It's been a long time since he's played shortstop like consistently. Uh, like it really has been. Or just played infield consistently, even right. Like he's got 621 innings at shortstop this year. You know, since his highest innings ever in a season at shortstop was 138, and that was in 2021. Uh, Oh, sorry, no. In 2022, he played about 180 between high A and double A. About 180 innings in shortstop. Uh, that's actually right on the dot. 180 innings in 2022. That's the most he's played in a season of shortstop. Hasn't really played shortstop, every day really since. He's primarily been playing center field, and because of that, I feel like the defense has gotten better. Even if it hasn't been elite, I feel like it's been very solid. And I feel like I want to give him B, but I'm like borderline between a B and a C right now.
I give him a B. He's been really good defensively. We know that. Hitting wise, you're going to be happy if he hits above 250. So B.
Yeah, I'll take a B. Um, Rafael Devers is next. 21 hits in 97 at bats in the 24 games he played. 7 doubles, 4 homers, 11 RBIs, 28 strikeouts though, 11 walks, 216, 296, 412, 708 OPS for Devers.
Ugh.
This one's weird. I think it's a C for Devers, in my opinion, but it's not a great C. Um, but I'm gonna lean with the C here for Devers.
I'm doing C. He was hurt, or he is hurt currently. He's probably going to get surgery at the end of the season. Missed a couple games. Houston always figures him out. So he was hot before the Houston series, and the Houston just kept pitching him fastballs. They know they always figure him out. So B. I think
And next,
expectation
yeah,
of Rafael Devers is kind of standard, so we're
yeah.
fine.
Last but not least, Jaron Duran played in 26 games, 33 hits and 107 at bats, 11 doubles, 1 triple, 7 homers, 15 RBIs, 24 strikeouts, 10 walks, 9 stolen bases, caught just once, 308, 368, 626 is a slash line, 994 OPS. Jason, your
This is
last
tough.
grade,
This is so
Jaron Duran.
tough. I want to say A, but I don't know. Like, he didn't really stand out to me this month. He's still really good, but B. I'll say B, but it's a very light B. Could be an A. Just didn't really stand out. The real weight's pretty impressive in 26 games, 7 home runs, really good. Defense, good. But like, I don't know.
I feel like he didn't have a run this month. I felt like
Yeah,
it was like he had like multi-hit games sprinkled in, but he didn't. I didn't like have a run where he had 2 hits one game, 3 the next, 2 the next game after that. He didn't really have like a run like that this month.
right. He had 1 triple in the whole month. Where I think I don't know if he's still leading the league in triples, but he was on this. Yeah, in previous months he got off to a great run, literally, and everyone's like, "Whoa, look at that speed! Cool, still there. It's still really good." But I don't know. C or sorry, B.
Yeah, I got a B as well. He does still lead the league in triples as far as I'm aware. Yeah, he's got 13. Corbin Carroll's got 12. Bobby Witt Jr. has 11. So he does lead the league in triples. But yeah, I'm going with the B for Jaron Duran. And I think that's a good place to wrap it up. That's our August progress reports.
And the bullpen gets enough.
Yeah, as a whole. Yeah, as a whole. All right. So for Jason, my name is Derek. We're going to wrap this thing up. Thanks for tuning in, as always, to the Friendly Focus. And we will see you next time.